Section 7.1, example 7, using the addition method in systems of equations containing fractions. Solve the given system of equations in two variables by addition. So zooming in, it kind of looks a little scary here. We have fractions, but fractions are just going to be like numbers. What we could do is what a previous professor had told me was crush the fractions. We could multiply by the greatest common factor, least common denominator. I think it's greatest common factor. Multiply by a number that is divisible by both 3 and 6 in this case, and multiply by a number that's divisible by both 2 and 4 in this case. So let's start with equation 1. What value do we have to multiply? Do we have to multiply by in order to get rid of the fractions? Here we don't really have to worry about undefined solutions because we don't have variables in the denominator. The denominator is just made up of coefficients. So coefficients are going to give us any weird solutions. So this was our equation 1. Let's move it down a little bit. So this is our equation 1. In order to get rid of those fractions, I want to multiply by a number that's divisible by 3. So we can multiply both sides by 3. It'll get rid of those, but it's not going to get rid of this 6. So let's try 6 in our heads. If we multiply this by 6, 6 divides out with 3, and also 6 divides out with 6. So multiplying by 6, we're getting rid of all of the fractions. So multiplying by 6, we have 6 divided by 3. 6 goes into 3 2 times. So we end up with 2x here. And over here, 6 goes into 6 one time. So we're just left with y. So plus y. Over here, we still have to do what we do to one side, we also do to the other. So we have 6 times 3 is 18. And there we go. So we've done that to the first equation. Let's work on the second equation. Let's start by writing that one down as well. And so this is equation 2. So we have x over 2 minus y over 4 equals 1. And to get rid of these fractions, we have to multiply by a number that's divisible by 2 and that's also divisible by 4. As you kind of saw earlier, we could just multiply by 4. 4 is divisible by 4, and 4 is also divisible by 2. So multiplying both sides by 4. So multiply this side by 4. Let's multiply this side by 4. So 4 goes into 2 times. So here we have 2x minus 4 goes into 4 one time. So here we just have y. And that's equal to 1 times 4 is 4. And I did this in the wrong color. Much better. Okay, so now that we have those two equations, let's see what our system of equations looks like. So just grabbing this equation and also this equation, we just fixed it for it to be a nicer system of equations. And over here, 2x minus y is equal to 4. So now we have this system of equations. These two are exactly the same. We just manipulated this one to making it a little bit prettier. So no problem there. Everything's exactly the same. Let's see what we could do here. I kind of see that we could just add these two together, use our elimination method, or what the book has been calling the addition method. I kind of like that. So let's rewrite this. 2x plus y equals 18. 2x minus y equals 4. Add those two equations together. We have 4x. The y's subtract out. and this is equal to 22. Divide both sides by 4. We get x is equal to, we could say 11 over 2 or 5.5. Now that we have the x component, we just have to figure out what the y component is. You could plug it into either one of the equations. You could plug it in here, 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 or here. Either one of those equations will work. Let's see. Normally I would want to just use this. We could use either one of these equations, but let's stick to what I've been saying earlier. Let's just use one of these equations, just in case we made a mistake earlier. So we have x over 2 minus y over 4 is equal to 1. We just found out x was our 5.5 over 2 minus y over 4 is equal to 1. Yeah, this doesn't look too pretty. So let's use one of the other equations. We could choose whichever one. Let's start with this equation here. 2x plus y equals 18. We just found out that x was 5.5. So 2 times 5.5 plus y equals 18. And we actually have this part here. It ended up being 11 over 2. So the 2's would divide out here. Or you could just plug that into a calculator and see that it ends up just being 11. 11 plus y is equal to 18. Subtract 11 from both sides. We end up with y is equal to 7. So that's our y component of the solution. There we go. So we have our x component, we have our y component. So we just solved for this system of equations. And that's it. We just have to tell the world that this is a solution to this system of equations, and we did it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, bye.